Welcome back. We're here with Andy Samberg and the cast, Kenan Thompson, John Mulaney, and writers, Colin Jost and Ram Klein of tonight's Second Chance Theater. Well, Andy, we'll start with you. How do you feel it played?
I'm feeling like I wish I had changed before this part.
Yeah. Right, that you're still in full Griff Banks. You're still wearing the wig. Yeah.
Starting to regret that a little.
You mean it's hard to get out of character? You mean
Yeah.
you're so method about it?
Yeah.
Did you see me? From the sketch!
Do you, Rob and Colin, do you remember writing this sketch?
Very well.
And did it sort of fly onto the page, I should say? Did the inspiration just come fast and furious?
Yeah, I think Griff kind of wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Griff kind of wrote himself.
Griff wrote it for us.
To Dress Twice, do you remember the two hosts?
Emma Stone and Gabourey Sidibe.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic find and replace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember, you were in it both times? Do you feel like it played well enough to go to...
I was in it both times?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I loved it. Each time. Each and every time.
John, you have some other favorites of Andy's that did not find their way to air. Do you want to share some of those with us?
This wasn't on air, Griff Banks?
This was never aired.
Oh, it went to Dress.
Yeah, it
right?
went to Dress.
Which is right before air.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then they cut it. We worked on a piece, I think it was Friday night till about 4 a.m. called, it was an update feature.
Yeah.
You did update,
Yeah, I
right?
did, yeah.
It was called The Guy Who Just Woke Up. So Andy would come out and he'd be like, oh, he'd be tired, just woke up. And I remember we got off the elevator at 4 a.m. and we had turned it in and we were in the lobby and we all wanted to go home. And Andy said, oh, wait, maybe we should call him Bedhead Jones. And, we were like, I don't know, Bedhead Jones, we kind of want to go home. But looking back, I think that, that would have saved it.
Yeah, I think it would have. I would have put it over the top.
I realized today how many of your characters that we worked on had the entire premise of the sketch in the name of the character.
Right. You gotta let him know up front.
All the jokes.
There was Gerald.
Gerald, who's always sick, also cut.
Yeah. Never aired.
Gerard, the worst dude ever. Also
Yeah.
Gerard,
cut.
the worst dude ever.
Yeah.
Do you remember a
The boy
couple
who
things
woke
about
up.
Gerard? A couple of details I remember. Gerard, he rode in on a what do they call it? Recumbent bike.
Recumbent bike.
Yeah.
Tiva sandals.
Tiva sandals.
Tivas and socks.
He followed. He was like a deadhead, but for Jamiroquai.
Yeah, the Quai.
He followed the Quai.
He referred to them
He
as
was
the
on tour
Quai.
with the Quai.
He had an iguana named Gary Larson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Creator of the
Who
Far
was
Side.
it that liked Martinelli's sparkling apple cider?
That was
I texted you on Thanksgiving.
We just were talking about this.
Not Clarence.
Lomax.
Lomax.
Yeah, Lomax.
None of these aired.
Can you do Lomax's voice for us for a second?
And truly, such a pleasure to see you. Would you like another glass of Martinelli's sparkling cider, the world's most perfect beverage?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the room with Lomax.
Yeah.
Colin, we emailed this script around because we were talking about doing this, and you made an observation about Griff Banks that it was sort of it was foreshadowing the future of American
right.
politics.
That I didn't realize that Griff Banks would essentially become president of the United States.
That basically a sensitive bully
Sensitive bully
would
is-
be exactly who would hold the highest office in the land.
Yes. So, Andy,
Yeah.
good job.
Finger on the future pulse.
Do you think he would own up to being a gaping snorf?
So Gaping Snorf, looking back, do you feel like Gaping Snorf played as well as you had hoped it would play?
Truthfully, better.
What about the second time?
Second time when Amber said it.
Yeah, because you say it and then another character says it.
Well, what was nice is we cut to Seth in the middle. And it made me, Klein and I were talking, we were like, that was our mistake at SNL. We should have cut to Lauren.
It would have been fun just in general. There should be a Lorne cam that people can watch.
Oh my God.
Right.
Like, there's like certain like football games where you can just like watch the feed from like a different camera.
Yeah.
If there was a Lorne cam, that would be amazing.
Where he
Like,
like
mic'd up. Like,
Yeah.
the one's mic'd
throws
up.
his wine glass against the wall. Mother.
And he's throwing the headphones.
Klein, do you remember being under the bleachers for Griff Banks thinking this is going to air?
I remember the first part of that, of being under the bleachers.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we thought it probably would air, and I
Yeah.
think it was maybe a little controversial that it didn't air.
Yeah. Like controversial in that like people cared.
Like what we were mad at.
Among us three.
It was a controversy that still burns today.
The Gabourey Sidibe one, it was picked for air.
Yeah.
And got cut on air, and the sketch that played instead was a Will Forte sketch, a character he did called Hamilton.
Hamilton Whiteman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we should have done Griff.
You're gonna throw your boy Forte under the bus right now.
Yeah. I mean, everyone thinks Forte's so nice.
Oh boy, that's again.
I should have took off the wig for sure.
In fairness to Hamilton, he was, I believe, an Aryan nationalist with a bob haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fairness
They were
to him,
really,
yeah.
they were really kind of both foreshadowing American.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the worst? Do you have a worst moment under the bleachers with Lauren, as far as,
A worst moment.
or like
Oh, my favorite moment was his son Eddie.
Yeah.
Maybe he was 11 at this time. Lauren was watching a sketch of ours on the monitor, and he kept going, oh, like that, because it wasn't doing well. So eventually, Eddie just was staring at him, and then Eddie went, like, mimicking him. I thought that was cute. And then a lot of other times that were very hurtful.
At some point, like last year, I was watching a sketch that I'd written and it was not going great. And he turned to me under the bleachers, Lauren, and he said, "Do you think they can take Emmys away?"
That's a good one.
Alex Bays, who ran Update when I was there and is now the head writer of this show, I did something on Update. I tried a new thing where I basically looked through a magnifying glass at some point and was doing a bit with a British accent. And Lauren told Bays when it was over, he just said, "Burn the tapes." Which looking back, I don't think Bays should have told me.
We had a game show host once named Robert Blaze, I think.
Yeah.
And Lauren went, "Everyone's confused because they think it's Ruben Blades." And we were like, "Oh, no, they're not." But 47 years, he knows what he's doing.
Knows what he's doing. You guys, congratulations on it finally finding air. I'm sorry, it's on a weeknight and like after 1 a.m. But
This is better, truthfully.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving it this chance to shine.
and shine it did.
Yeah.